I'm going for a very typical urn shaped. I prefer to go that route instead of trying to come up with some odd shape. I definitely avoid the small wood turner bottom. It's something that's been developed, and a lot of people do it amongst wood turners in their hollow forms. I prefer not to do that when it's something like an urn. Makes it tippy, not as stable. You want a good stable base, either in the form itself or turn or supply an additional foot, so it just speaks stability. And with that being said, I'm going to start roughing this out. I got this piece turned around. I've got, I think they were 4-inch approximately jaws, and I used dividers so that the jaws are just coming down on being perfectly round, because I'm not using any steady rest or anything. I can hollow this all the way to the bottom, that 10 inches or so, without any problem. I'm going to take this spigot off of here and then reevaluate this opening. I have different inserts that are male and female thread, so I have to decide. This would work. This would be a little bit large, but it would also work. It would be up in this collar area, and this would go on the lid, the mating part. At some point I'll do another video on making these in the metal lathe. Okay, I've got a 2-inch bit in this chuck, and this quill is marked at 10 inches in, and 10 inches is as deep as I want to go. Okay, I'd like to talk for a few minutes just about my hollowing system. Now, it's based on this trap rest, which is built out of 2-inch wide by 1/2 inch thick cold rolled steel, 2 layers. They're 6 inches wide, and the top is drilled for clearance holes on the 3/8 bolt, and the bottom 3 holes are tapped for 3/8 16, as well as a hole that's drilled for clearance that goes into the tool rest. Again, it's drilled and tapped for 3/8 16, and it's counterbored so the head is down below the surface. I've used a lot of different hollowing systems, and I don't like the cumbersome setup when you want to go back and forth between hand tools and your hollowing system. And what I do, I use a combination of hand tools in the opening right here where I can feel the opening. I use a John Jordan hook tool to do this around the sides here, and in an arm brace. It's very quick to change back and forth. When you're using the arm brace, you can just pull this out, or when you're using the hollowing tool, this goes in. It's got a depth stop, and it just sits there ready to go, solid. Okay, now the hollowing tool itself. The bar is from a salvaged power takeoff shaft that's available in Tractor Supplies or Steel Supplies. It measures 7/8 deep by 7/8 wide by 3/4 inches thick, and I've milled it about 10 or 15 degrees out at the end here. I milled off to make the end more petite and would fit into a tighter bottom, and I've milled it this way about 15 degrees for a distance of approximately 2 3/4 to 3 inches in. This is drilled at 45 degrees for a 3/16 bit. I do have to round the corners on these 3 3/16 high-speed steel bits. and then there's a set screw. This is held on by set screws. I plugged the aluminum tube with this. I had something else on there, but fits snugly in the trap rest. The laser adjuster is built from 1/2-inch tubing and 5/8 tubing, and this is a 1/2-inch round tubing, and I just ground that out there so that in case I needed, the clearance would go in all the way there. And these are 1032 knobs that are available in hardware stores. And so this is very positive XY axis adjustment, and once this goes on the bar, I have some pencil marks on there from the last time I used it, and the laser is a machine brass pointer, commonly available. I bought a quantity of them, very, very inexpensive. I've got some tape on there so it fits snugly in there, and this is beveled on the top, and when that goes in, I think you can see that, when that goes in, the button gets pushed for the laser dot, and it's approximately 1/2 inch off. But this thing is, it's rock solid. It's not gonna even lose adjustment when you're in a vibrating piece. It just holds it, and you know, I didn't like on the systems that were available the risers, and you had to tighten up here and there, and I just never got along with it. This is bulletproof. It's welded. I just welded the 1/2-inch tubing right to the back of the bar. I typically use it by pinching the back here and go in and fan with it, and advance and fan, advance and fan. This 10-inch will basically be no problem whatsoever for this. So now I'm down with the lasers just breaking over the edge right in this area here. Now I'm going to pull this rest, put in the regular tool rest, and just do that, blend that in by hand under the shoulder. I can reach in there and feel the thickness. So kill that laser. Change to the regular tool rest. Okay, I'm going into where there's where right there's the, from the hollowing tool. And I'm just bringing that back, blending that shoulder. You can see the tool right here. Just going behind the shoulder. And that should do it. I can take a little bit more out in the opening here. I have a pencil line on there. That's the insert size. Right here is the insert size. So while I have this tool in my hand, I'll just take some of this out right here. There's no need to smooth this. It's the initial roughing, so let's get her done. Okay, there's where I left off. You probably can't see that dot in the camera, and there's where my material is still laying right there. I'll clean out the inside one more time. I'm almost there, but you don't want to have a buildup of shavings getting behind the cutting bar. That is it. I don't know if I'm going to have a problem with that crack there. It may just be a design opportunity. Well, if you're still here, I want to thank you for sticking around. Just wanted to add a couple of things that might be useful if you're making some urns. This is a work in progress. It's got the aluminum insert in the lid, and I'm working on some designs that I'm wood burning, and I'll be doing some dye work before finishing. I've taken this and filled it with rice. I filled it up to the brim, and then I dumped the rice in this box that measures 6 by 6 on the inside, and I also have a line in there that's at 5 inches, and that equals 180 cubic inches, which is pretty commonly accepted as being the size required in an adult urn. Most adult urns are up to around 200 inches. This one here measured, I think it was about 190, and so that's ample size. If they're big enough, you can often take the complete liner that comes with the ashes, and if you manipulate it, you can get it down into the urn if the opening is big enough. I want to recommend that you stay away from forms of this nature with a small opening and a small base. Even if you get their size right, you can make them bigger, smaller, keepsake urns. What happens is they're susceptible to tipping over. One little bump and you risk it busting on the floor, and if the opening is small enough, you will be filling it with a teaspoon. So this is the urn that we turned in the video. If you hit the notification button, I will be doing a second urn that is dry, and I will turn it to completion using the hollowing tool that was used in the video, and I'll be installing the aluminum insert and bringing it to completion. So thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you on the next one. Please give a thumbs up if you liked the video.